PSA loses a $27,000 Pokemon card submission, damages one of my alternate art cards during grading, and then gave my friend's card a PSA 10. Which should be good, right? No, because then they damaged that one too, and now it's a PSA 4. These are all problems we're going to be talking about in today's video, and although PSA is my personal favorite grading company, well, they've obviously been having some serious issues lately. Two side notes before we get into it. Something I'm actually not going to be talking about in this video is that they recently sent me a submission back with a ton of cracked slabs. This was in a previous PSA reveal video that I did, but I'm still in contact with them about this. I'm still exchanging emails, so make sure y'all subscribe because that will be in a future video. Second side note, ignore my face. I'm trying this new facial cleanser and I'm just breaking out, okay? So $27,000, y'all. You cannot make this up because it is literally one of my moderators, a person I know very well. Big shout out to Ewok. We talk almost every single day because he does do a lot for the Discord, and this happened to him and he sent me the proof. He brought this up to me about 2 months ago because he was worried that there was no movement with the cards, but nobody thought it was a big deal at the time because it was only a little past the point of when those cards should have been like being graded or stuff. Like the process was taking a little longer than usual, but nobody thought it was a big deal yet. Next update I heard from him was probably another month after that. He had told me he had been in contact with PSA at this point because still to that day, there was not a single update. Like I can't remember the furthest the cards got in the grading process, but whenever it got stuck at that step, it stayed there for like over a month. Very long story short, Ewok got his local card shop involved to help him out with this. He told me that they had several calls literally on the phone regarding his lost submission that would ultimately never be found. I'll go ahead and put a picture of the cards that he did submit on the screen, and it's some serious bangers, y'all. Like there are Poncho Pikachus, and there's cards in this submission worth thousands and thousands of dollars. PSA writes him back. PSA says, the submission is officially lost and they were unable to locate it. All right, I want y'all to like actually imagine this for a second. For one, Ewok lives international. So he had been telling me for like over probably 2 years at this point that he wants to send off a submission to PSA, but it's so expensive and like the shipping is like astronomical prices when you want to grade from outside of the country. So he finally does it, bro. He's sending very expensive cards, probably the biggest cards in his personal collection. He's probably the most attached to these cards out of his entire collection. He sends them out fully expecting them to come back graded. Like he finally pulls the trigger on grading them just for his cards to be lost. His collectibles are gone forever. With all that being said, Ewok is a very nice guy, and at the end of his DMs when he was sharing this with me, he said, and I quote, I did have a good experience though. They were really helpful going through the process and a lot of the steps got explained. Big difference between PSA and CGC with that. We'll get to that later. But the question still remains, why does he feel like that? They just lost $27,000 worth of his cards. So this is what PSA did. PSA told Ewok they will be refunding the grading fees in full in part of the declared value based on the expected grades average. That's $2,060 in grading fees that he will get refunded and $24,050 in like declared value for the actual cards. A total of $26,110 will be refunded. It's also worth noting that they had already given him the expected grades on these cards, so that is what this value is based upon what they said that these grades would have gotten. I personally always find this a little bit sketchy because like PSA knows they have to refund him this money dependent on those grades, so why can't they just pull a fucking number out of their ass like, hey, your Poncho Pikachu is gone forever, but trust me, bro, it would have been a 2, so we'll refund you the money for a 2. I don't know. That's not what they did here. Like, some of the grades were really solid, and he's getting a lot of money back for them. I just personally feel like there needs to be, like, some sort of checks and balances on that because, like, if they just freaking lose the card, I don't know. They could pull any number they want out of a hat, and that's what they refund you. It seems really weird. But it doesn't just end with Ewok's lost submission. PSA has been damaging a ton of cards lately. I'm going to tell y'all about my story and somebody else's that I know factually about, but I did want to point this out that, you know, I've been scrolling on Reddit a little bit lately, and I'm seeing it a lot more commonly lately than I have in the past that PSA is damaging cards. Somebody said, again, I don't know if there's any what the fuck? How do you say that word? Validity? We're going with that. I don't know if there's any validity. That just doesn't sound right. I don't know if there's any validity to this, but somebody said that PSA recently brought in an influx of new employees, which could be why more cards are getting damaged. I don't even know if more cards are getting damaged, but it does seem like it's happening to a lot of people, especially in our Discord. I could tell you that from like personal preference. There's a lot of people in our Discord who are getting damaged cards back. But I recently did a submission myself. Sent off a Blastoise and Piplup alternate art. It's a very beautiful card. I had bought this card as a single, and the next thing I know, I'm waking up to an email from PSA telling me that they have damaged my card. It's not a fun email to open up. They state that this card would have got a 9, but is now getting a 6. That is, at a 9, that card is valued at $100. At a 6, that card is valued at $30. All right, I literally didn't realize how fucking stupid this was until I was like doing this video and editing and kind of doing a deep dive into all this information. But PSA didn't even offer me 100 back, which was the value that they said my card would have been. They said it would have been a PSA 9. That's $100. They offered me 70 back for the card, plus the 15 in the grading fee, which is 85, when it should have been 100 for the card plus the 15 in the grading fee. They damaged my card, and then they said they just want to offer the difference in the values. So that's where they came up with this 70 number that literally makes no sense to me. They're saying your card was 100, but we damaged that shit. Now it's 30. We're just going to give you the in-between number. We're going to give you 70 back for the card, plus the 15 grading fee is a little, you know, cherry on the top. No, that's actually, I'm making jokes about it, but that's actually the biggest BS ever. Why the fuck would they damage my card and not give me 100 back for it when it was 100 before you damaged it? How the fuck does that make any sense? I emailed PSA back and told them the card goes for around 120, and I was expecting to get a 10 on it, so not sure why I'm not receiving my declared value back. Like when you submit the card, you put in the declared value of it. I just took a random guess when submitting it, but I did put my declared value at $180, which is not accurate, but neither is offering fucking 70 back. In their next email, they literally say, per their policy, that they can compensate up to the fair market value. So they're literally telling you, they're trying to like hide it in words, but they're literally telling me that they could have offered me up to the $100 because that is the fair market value according to PSA. That's what they put in their email. They're being low key about it, but they're literally telling me that they can offer me up to $100. So that's something for y'all to note. If your cards ever get damaged by PSA and they say your card was going to be worth this, you freaking fight for it and you get your money back, dog. And then the rest of that email just goes over like why it's valued at such and a whole bunch of just blah, blah, blah. My next email, I told them I paid $116 for the card plus the 15 submission fee, and that doesn't seem fair because I'm losing more money because they damaged it. I paid $131, not including shipping, and now I'd be losing $46 on that card, not even counting shipping. Also toss in there that I grade thousands of cards with them, which I do, but you know, a little bit of the Karen started coming out of me. This is my freaking collectible, y'all. After that, they emailed back and they waived the entire shipping fee. So they said, we're going to give you another $40. And with the $70 and the $15 on top of it, we're now looking at a $125 credit towards my submission. So I was pretty busy during this time when all this is going on. I was in the middle of Vertmas uploading every single day and stuff. So I didn't really have time to laser focus in on this. It seemed like they offered a pretty good resolution. I'm sure I could have gone after my 100 plus the 40 plus the 15, but I said, we'll take it. Also, because I did buy the card as a single, it didn't hold like, you know, super sentimental value to me or anything. It means a lot. I really do like the card, but in all honesty, I wasn't like crazy worried about it. And PSA did offer a resolution. They threw in an extra 40. So yeah, I was cool with it. But that's not where the damage of Pokemon cards and PSA stops. S-Dog, another member of our Discord, hits me up the very same day that I saw this email. He actually told me about his first, and then I opened my email and I was like, dude, you're not going to believe this, because I saw it like 5 minutes after. His case is even worse. He had a PSA 10 go down to a PSA 4 because PSA damaged his card. Make it make sense. All right, so this part actually gets really fucking sus and really weird. Like, I actually don't like this at all. S-Dog had a declared value of $25 on his card. They gave him his declared value back. I understand that in my case, my declared value was 180, which was probably too much on my card. The problem I have is that PSA specifically told me they don't give you declared value back. They give you the fair market value. And they said that's that's like per store policies and everything. So I'm wondering why in their email to him, they're telling him that they're giving him the declared value back, which is far different from fair market value. For those of you that don't know, declared value is what you personally put in for your card when you're submitting on PSA's website. If you think it's going to get a 10 and it's a Moonbryon, I don't even know what those go for right now, maybe like 800, then you would put 800 in there, but the actual fair market value might be like 750. So that's why they're saying that per their policy, they give this fair market value. They're not going to give you the declared value back because that's just a number you kind of just came up with. I just find it really suspicious how they told me they don't do that, and now it seems like they're just picking and choosing what they want to go with. But at the end of the day, PSA did the right thing again. They gave him the $40 back, the $25 for his declared value, plus the $15 fee to grade. Very last thing I'll note is that they also damaged one of his metal cards from the Celebrations UPC. He reached out and PSA basically told them that this can happen. And they made it sound like it's a pretty common thing that everybody needs to be aware of. They're not going out and saying that to everybody, but they're like, oh yeah, this happens all the time, dude. And PSA will not be liable for this. When you submit your metal cards, you literally sign something in their terms and conditions. This is all stuff PSA told him, by the way, and they sent him a link with all these articles and stuff. But you're literally signing an agreement that says if your metal cards get chipped during the PSA grading process, that you will not be reimbursed for those cards. I've actually personally had cards come back chipped by PSA. I didn't know it at the time, but it's actually a really common thing that they do chip metal cards. So just an FYI, and you will not be reimbursed for that. With all that being said, has PSA fucked up? Abso-freaking-lutely. I mean, these are major fuck-ups, man. A $27,000 submission gone. And this is just, I've just talked about 2 cases of me and a buddy losing or getting our cards damaged by PSA during their grading process. You know, these are serious things, man. These are collectibles. Obviously, people are going to care about them. So did they fuck up? Yes. But, booty everywhere. What's wrong with me, bro? But they made it right, dude. In every single one of these cases, PSA provided a resolution. If it wasn't the very best, then they might have upgraded that resolution as it went on. Ewok had phone calls. I exchanged emails. S-Dog exchanged emails. They had open communication. And at the end of the day, all 3 of us were happy with the resolutions they provided. Even Ewok, who lost his whole freaking collection. And that's the goddamn reason I'm proud to say that I will continue to grade with PSA. America! As long as I'm not banned after this video comes out. PSA, please don't ban me. But seriously, I think that's the major difference between this company, PSA, and shitty CGC. When CG shit fucks up, they do absolutely nothing to provide a resolution. I've done billions. Okay, not billions. I've done a lot of videos though on CGC fucking up, and not a single time have they made it right. They don't have open communication with people. If they do, they fucking lie and say they're going on vacation and shit. It's a whole bunch of BS with CGC, and that's why PSA is at the fucking top, bro. All the companies are going to mess up, man. All of them. Some mess ups are going to be bigger than other mess ups, but at the end of the day, I think it makes the biggest difference, and I think it shines the biggest light on that company of how they handle it and make it right for their customers who are paying money. Me, as a customer who has given both of these companies, PSA and CGC, a lot of money, fuck CGC, and I am happy to still grade with PSA. Fuck you, CGC. PSA messed up really bad, really bad. I'm not taking these lighthearted. They still fucked up, but they had a huge fuck up, and I still think they're better than CGC. Let me know y'all's thoughts in the comments of this video. Hopefully this did give you some more insight. I know this is going to scare a lot of y'all probably out of grading with PSA, but y'all should know. Y'all should know. You know, before you go into grading, there are risks involved. All these companies can make mistakes. And yeah, let me know y'all's thoughts on these situations. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe for more grading updates. Appreciate y'all watching, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.
I do anything in my power to see you just smile. I want you to prosper.